Hi, I'm Jay, the happy colorist, and welcome back to my channel. It is the end of the month of April, or rather the start of the month of May, so it's time to show my completed pictures again. I actually had thought that I wasn't able to complete enough to warrant a video just for the pictures, but that's why I'm going to show you the pictures I finished in April, and then talk a bit about my plan for the channel for May. Before I get into that, I just want to say hi to sorry for the shaking. I try to be a bit more steady. So hi to all the new subscribers. We're actually on the way through 300 subscribers now, and it's a bit overwhelming to me. I would never have thought that I would actually, get anywhere near that. I'm still super happy with this YouTube journey. So thank you everybody for watching, and especially for commenting. I have so much fun always chatting to you in the comments after my videos, so thank you very much for that. Let's start with the completed pictures. The first one feels almost a bit of a cheat because I apparently finished it on the 1st of April. This is a picture that I showed, and I even put in March 2019, I don't know, but I'm pretty sure I showed this only as a VIP in my last video. So this is the completed picture. It is in Dagdrömmar by Hanna Karlzon, the little jellyfish. I did all of this with polychromas and had lots of fun with that. They worked really, really nicely on this paper, and it was so relaxing to just layer so much. And the background is done with Neocolor, and the little stars, you can see them shining a bit with Coliro and the little dots. I'm gonna try to make it look like the jellyfish was glowing. I had lots and lots of fun. This the color scheme, or rather all the pencils are inspired by a color combination that Peter Hewitt gave out in one of her videos. I can't remember in which. I think she colored something in Lost Ocean, and I just wrote down the pencils she used and used them in this picture. And I think the effect of the blue and the yellow, orange and red are just very nice together. Really, really like this. Then over Easter, or for Easter, by the way, I think this is the first picture I did in this book, and I think even without me planning this, all of the pictures I did these months are pictures in books I haven't colored in before. So for the whole month I met the Color Your Heart challenge, I think. So the next one I did for Easter in Sagor, Sägner by Emelie Öberg, and I did this one. And this is, I think, one of the first pictures where I did the background first. It's done with Neocolor, and it's just all in pastel colors. And it didn't turn out like I had imagined it to be. And when I had just done the background, I was pretty unhappy with it. But the finished picture works really well together. I'm really happy with how it turned out in the end. I think I used mostly polychromes for this too. The skin has a background of Neocolor 2 or base, and then I colored over this with polychromas, and I think I used some Pablos too, because I have this one set combination for like browns, this pinkish red, and the greens that I just returned to because I like it so much. So Sagor, Sägner. Then I did my first picture in Magical Fairies. You've seen the progress on this, because this is the picture I did while I was on my trip. And I did this fairy. I did almost all of it with Marco Raffine and the pencils I got at Action. And then I used washi tape as a border. See, I used the washi tape. And I used Coliro paint for the effect on her wings. I think it turns out super well. And I also used Coliro for the gold in the background and the hearts. And it's just all shimmery when you move the page. And I'm really happy with how this turned out. I love the picture in general, and yeah. I was so happy with it that I completely forgot to go back and put in shadows and such, which I would usually have done. The problem with the Marco Raffine and the action pencils are that they just they don't layer very well. You can just, you know, put 1-2 layers and then it's done. So I actually wanted to do a bit of a darker border here, but it was impossible to go over it, and the same with the shadows. I would have needed to go in with like Prismacolor or something. I think that would have worked, but yeah, I'm as I said in my trip video, I was pretty happy that I took only those pencil brands along, because if I had access to all of my things, I would have abandoned using the Marco Raffines and the action pencils halfway through because they annoyed me so much. But yeah, I think this is pretty turned out pretty well. Oh, I really just love the effect on her wings. I think it would have been even nicer to block out the black, but I only thought of that after I had put on the Colira. I think I would have I put a base on, like a light blue base with colored pencils, and then I should have just whited it out with Posca, waited for it to dry, and then put out the Coliro. Then it would have worked very well. But as it is, it looks super good. Just can't stop being happy about the shine. So Magical Fairies by Marjorie Sarnat. And then this is my new Tracing Around the not the World Festivals by Eriy, her new book. And I for some reason I was really just couldn't stop thinking about this one picture that is the picture for April 30th, when there's Walpurgisnacht in Germany, which is the night where supposedly all the witches come out and dance around the fire and fly around on their broom. So this is the picture Eriy did for that, and for April 30th I wanted to finish this. And I just, I had no plan for this picture. I just thought, I'll just do quick color, and it turned out to take 3 days, way longer than I had wanted or anticipated, but yeah, I think it turned out pretty well. My hate relationship with Eriy's books and Polychromos and Pablo's continues though. I started The Door with Pablo's and Polychromos and they just didn't work at all. They only work because I used the Prismacolor to blend. And for the effect of The Door, let me see whether I can show it a bit better to you. The wood, I really like how that turned out. That worked pretty well, but after The Door I went over to Prismacolor, and oh yeah, the woodwork I also did with with Polychromos and Pablo's, and I just almost threw the book against the wall because that's why it also doesn't look like it has any depth, because it just didn't want to take anything. So after that I went over to Prismacolor and that worked way better. Should have done that from the start. Yeah, and I tried so many new techniques on this picture. I tried wood, I tried folds in fabric, and something is wonky with the perspective in this picture. I couldn't get it to look right, but yeah. And I tried stone, and yeah, it was so much work. You can see I used Coliro here again, bit of glitter. Also here before that. But I really like it. I especially love all my 3 kitties. How I did them, and I like the tracing effect. You can see you can see that you can't see any black lines because I covered most of the lines that she has because they're so faint. But it also makes it a bit hard to have the borders, because you have to decide which the line that you can see to which place it belongs, and sometimes I went over it, and with the Prismacolor it happened that you just mix the colors because you don't have a clear black that doesn't show that you colored over it, so it was a bit harder to color than in a normal book. But I just love this, and I will continue to color in this book as the year goes by. So this is my Walpurgisnacht picture for April 30th. Eriy tracing around festivals. And then after I finished that, because I was on a roll, I started this one. This is still not done. I had hoped that I could finish it in time for this video. But it still lacks a bit of, like the stones aren't done and the background isn't done yet, and the wolf obviously isn't done yet, so it still needs a bit. But yeah, this is a picture from Fabrika Fantasy, and I think it is from her Forest Spirits 1. If it's not in there, then it's in Forest Spirits 2, but I'm pretty sure it's Forest Spirits 1. And I got some of her images that I forgot to show in a haul, because I got it digitally and then it's so easy to just forget that I got it. But I'll get to that later. Yeah, Fabrika Fantasy, and I just love her illustrations. And I really love how she turned out, to the point where when she was done, I was ready to just abandon the picture, because I just felt that now I could only make it worse. I really like, let me see whether I can get it better for you, how I did her face. It's really the first time where I'm super happy with how skin tone worked out. This is all done with Pablo's. Because I used my combination for the red, pink roses and the green, and then I wanted her in dark blue, and I just did the water, and I really like the effect. This whole thing, as you can see, has a marker base, and this worked super well for the water, because the water I just did in very light green marker, including a part of the reflection. Except for the parts of the skin, which I did in the same skin tone as I did with her. And then I just colored over it lightly with colored pencil, so the green still shows through, so it gives this murky effect. So yeah, really, really happy with this. The only thing I don't know what to do with is the background. I'm struggling a bit with it. I'm trying to give it more perspective. I'm not sure whether I'll be successful with that, but everybody looks at her anyway. So, and again here I try to give her folds. I'm pretty happy with my technique so far, and I can practice more on the stones, and then fur on him. Yeah, so I finished 4 pictures this month with the whip almost done. I had thought I would be able to do more because I had vacation in this month, but I think most of the pictures that I did were way more involved than I had anticipated when I started them. So yeah, but I had lots of fun doing all of that. So as I said, I wanted to just quickly also talk about my plans for this coming month. And my vacation unfortunately is at an end now, and I have a feeling that I might not be able to color as much in the coming month, because it will be very busy work-wise. So, and I didn't want to be disappointed at myself that I colored so little, because I mean, at the moment I get so many new books and I have so much fun doing all of this, and then I want to also have something to show for it, if you know what I mean. It's not that I pressure myself or anything, it's just yeah, it's nice to finish something. So, and to not set myself up for failure this month, because I have a feeling it might be pretty pressured, I thought I would do the following. I felt I had this idea because of several things. The first thing is that Amberle of Amberle Silentia, I think at the end of March, said she would do like a video series about Helen Ellison's tutorials, the colorist special effects. Helen Ellison has 2 books out that I have both, and that was one thing that brought my mind to the techniques. And then Helen Ellison herself announced that she would bring out a 3rd book soon. I don't think she put out a concrete release date, but she showed the cover, so it can't be very far away. And then I just thought, you know, I wanted to challenge myself and maybe really learn some techniques, because so far I haven't really used these books much. I sometimes just, you know, look something up if I want to color something and don't really know how, but I haven't done a like concentrated effort to actually, you know, use these as a learning tool. And with all those things coming together, I decided for myself that I would make the month of May a month where I would go through these books. I also got this one, which I actually forgot to show in my haul, and pick out a couple of tutorials that I wanted to do, and then learn with that. And it would be fine if I wouldn't finish a picture and only did parts of pictures for these tutorials. And this is what I am going to do, and because everything needs a nice name, I'm calling this Magical Methods May. I don't know how many videos will come out of that. I will have to see how well it progresses and how much time I have, because if I actually want to make it into a video, it's of course way more time consuming than just me sitting down coloring a small part of a picture. But if you want to continue, or if you want to go along with me and also do, you know, challenge yourself to do a couple of those techniques and tutorials, I'd be happy if you did. You can. There are these two books out, The Colorist Special Effects 1 and 2, and then there's also, I think, Jessica Zimmerman. She has 2 books out, the second book just released, which are very similar to these. And then I, inspired by Lavelia, I also got the 101 Textures in Color Pencil, which is basically the same and just shows like how to do certain textures. And like in my little diary, I always write down which color alongs I will follow. So this time I just basically made this my own color along. And I want to learn to color fur, which will be either will already try on the wolf in my whip or do something else. Then I want to learn to color eyes. I have a good technique that I copied from Color and Chat with Sammy, but I still want to practice it a bit more. And then out of the Colorist Special Effect, I picked out the outline clouds, the mermaid scales, the fairy wings, and the glassy unicorn horns. I think this one, Amberle did this. I think she showed a completed picture with that and it looked so good. And it fits very well that I just got the Jade summer books, and I think I'll just pick... I haven't found a perfect picture yet. Maybe one with the unicorn and the fairy if I can. Then I can do the fairy wings and the horn, and maybe practice some skin too, because I'm getting all of these anime books with people in, and I think I should really practice coloring skin. And maybe I will just do, you know, these parts of the picture. Well, or more if I feel inspired. I mean, but I won't, you know, it won't be needed. Yeah, and then maybe, you know, do a couple more pictures, just, you know, for practice's sake. I usually, when I start a picture, I want to finish it, and if I stop feeling it, then I abandon it. I don't, you know, make myself finish pictures that I don't want to, but I never just start a picture because I want to color one thing. And I think it will be a good challenge to me to just like, where was it? Yeah, I look at the picture like that and go, okay, I will, you know, try and color the horn with the method I just picked out and practice on her skin, and then call it done if I want to. What I will also do and have already started filming is a couple of collection videos. I started watching a lot of, I started getting into artists because my taste changed somehow in the last month or so. And so I suddenly got into Jade Summer and Molly Harrison and all of these artists that have like dozens and dozens of books out, and it's super hard to decide where to start. Like for Jade Summer, Amberle graciously did a Jade Summer collection video when I asked her, because she has this awesome collection, and I just think those videos where people show off a part of their collection to a specific artist is super helpful for people like me who just want to decide to get into them and just need to, you know, see or lots of their art next to each other to be able to pick one. I mean, of course you can look through all flip-throughs to all of those 20, 30, 50 books, but if they're not next to each other, and it's hard to pick out, and I think it's always helpful if someone, you know, explains what they like and why they like it. So because I love to watch, or I watched so many videos of those, I thought I could do that myself, and I think all through May I will upload a couple of those. I actually already recorded one for the Fabrika Fantasy, because I got so many of her pictures at once. Yeah, that's basically my plans for May, doing those collection videos, and doing the magical methods May, and I'll see what videos I can put out of. If there's anything you'd like me to do on camera, let me know, and I'll see whether I can actually do it. And I mean, it might turn out differently. Maybe, you know, suddenly I have super much time in May. Then of course my plans will change. But so far this is what I'm planning. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for being here. Have a super good morning, evening, or night, or whenever you're watching this, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye!